Because it's going to rain, you're not going to stop the podcast, all right?
No way.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor to introduce the man we've all been waiting for, global visionary, Sadhguru.
There are no problems in life, they're just situations.
Mind is like a cloud, you can make it any shape.
It is not God in the cloud or sky or in heaven who makes the difference. It's your attention and involvement which makes the difference.
Yoga must happen because in every house, technologies for well-being are prevalent, like brushing the teeth. To that common I want to make it, so that every human being knows how to keep their interiority. So this is the image of Adiyogi. He is geometrically so well aligned. If you look at him just once, he will not leave your mind. We are waiting for another large Adiyogi to come up. Kashi, as a town, has developed in a way that you can't imagine.
Absolutely.
I even expressed this to Prime Minister, you're doing many things for the nation. This one thing will be remembered, after 1,000 years people will remember.
Miracle of the Mind, what made you create this new initiative and what was the thought behind it?
I'm saying 7 minutes, no preparation needed. Wherever you are, you can do it. However you are, you can do it. In any condition, you can do it, but it will bring at least mental well-being to you.
Sadhguru, on multiple occasions you've spoken about mental health and you've said that mental health pandemic is going to be the next big pandemic. How real is it? May I ask you a personal question? Do you have a spiritual guru? I know what you're thinking. You're saying, Sharat, why do I need a spiritual guru? Well, for starters, if you find an authentic spiritual guru, he can help you find the real you. And you know, this real you would be completely aligned with the universe. What it means is, you'll be blissed out, you'll be happy, you'll be contented, you'll be smiling. Always. Now you'll say, yeah, that's a very interesting proposition, but where can I find an authentic guru? Well, don't worry, I'm going to get you to meet one right now. Because on the GDP podcast today, we have a spiritual master who's transformed millions of lives through his powerful teachings and unique spiritual processes. A mystic who's made spirituality relatable and super cool. The one and the only Sadhguru. Namaskaram, Sadhguru.
Namaskaram. Why you said only it'll have you smiling, why not laughing, huh?
Yeah, that's true. Sadhguru,
downgraded expectations you're creating.
You know, it's always better to manage expectations, Sadhguru. Sadhguru, you know, it's an honor to have you on the GDP podcast, and the team was looking forward to this podcast. And you know what makes this podcast even more special? Adiyogi is watching over.
Always.
Always, always. You know, I have a very interesting anecdote to share, Sadhguru. This was about 12 years back. I was in Delhi. You had come to Delhi for a program. And that was the first time I heard about Adiyogi and your vision to take Adiyogi to the world. So it was very, very interesting. And I was thinking in my mind, okay, we are used to Shiva, Adiyogi, okay, as a communication person, I was thinking about it. And then my friend, he walks in between while the program was going. He's an Sardarji, a very lovable guy. He comes to me and sits next to me and he's listening to you. So after 2 minutes he says, yaar, ye Adiyogi kya hai? Ye kaun sa bhagwan hai? So I said, no, you listen to it. So you know that conversation got over. Cut to, today I called him up. I said, yaar, I'm in Coimbatore. So he says, oh, please pay, give my pranams to Sadhguru and please take a selfie with the Adiyogi. Please take a selfie. And today, he has an Adiyogi on his car dashboard. He has an Adiyogi in his living room. And
Because at all the traffic stops, they're selling Adiyogi.
Yeah. So today I've seen that magic happen in front of my eyes when I was skeptical with whether people will understand Adiyogi, whether they will understand this. And today it's a living reality. I don't know how you do this.
It's not about whether somebody understands or not. There is in the universe, everything that's physical has a certain geometry. It's the perfection of geometry which determines how efficiently something functions. So if you take an automobile engine, how well geometrically aligned it is, that's how smoothly and well it operates. So if you take an image, how well geometrically aligned it is, that is the depth of impression it makes upon you. So this is… the image of Adiyogi is geometrically so well aligned, if you look at it once, if you look at him just once, he will not leave your mind. And we have not campaigned yet, as you said, we have not campaigned.
Yes.
We are waiting for another large Adiyogi to come up. I won't tell you right now where, how. Much larger Adiyogi will come up, and after that internationally we'll campaign, because Adiyogi not as a god, but Adiyogi as a source of yoga. Why is it important? Why should I do yoga? It's not about you doing yoga. Yoga does not mean twisting, turning and looking like one leftover noodle or something. Yoga means you're in union. If you are not in union with the universe around you, in which you are a small part, then you are a disaligned life and you will always be acerbic to yourself and to the world around you.
Yes.
So union, we are breathing, this is union. If you don't like it, stop it. It's not just on the level of respiration, at every level, even at the molecular level, atomic level, we are in union with everything. If you become conscious of that, not just intellectually, experientially if you become conscious of it, it is the most incredible love affair you can have, just to sit here and breathe, just to be alive.
Wow.
Not that you have to do something, just to be alive is a spectacular love affair. I want every human being to experience this. This is not a new religion, this is not a new god, this is not something. Adiyogi is an iconic reminder that your well-being, every aspect of your life can be handled in a scientific manner from within. Not looking up, not looking down. From within it can be handled. Then why do you need a spiritual guru? You don't need. He's there just to remind you and show you the way. It's not that you have to carry him on your head. I don't need, I have good legs. I don't need anybody to carry me on their heads. It's just that I would like to see the entire humanity in a state which is possible for them, not induced, not
Within their
incited.
reach.
What is naturally possible? How you were when you were a child, bubbling with joy, just to be alive. Nothing need to happen.
Absolutely.
Just to be alive, you're bubbling with exuberance and joy. Every human being can live like that even today. It is not even that I have to sell this idea to you, you were like that.
That's true.
What made you lose it? That's what you need to look at. And the methods and processes, this is not a philosophy, this is not an ideology, this is not a new religion, this is not even a teaching. This is a method, this is a technology for inner well-being. Every human being should have it. My intent is, in this generation we should make it in such a way, how… I think all the people who are sitting here today, they have brushed their teeth. Everybody. This is not because of dental science. Because of our mothers and fathers.
Yes.
They insisted you must brush your teeth. This is how it must happen. Yoga must happen because in every house, technologies for well-being are prevalent, like brushing the teeth. To that common I want to make it, so that every human being knows how to keep their interiority. Then we work with the external. In the external there are many challenges. Some we will surmount, some we will not.
Amazing. Sadhguru, you spoke about challenges, you spoke about the technologies for inner well-being. I want to…
Because it's going to rain, you're not going to stop the podcast, all right?
No way. So, Sadhguru, I want to… Right now, India is in a very interesting time. These are transformative times. We see our economy galloping. We've already the fourth largest economy, moving towards becoming the third largest. The Honorable Prime Minister has spoken about Viksit Bharat, making India a $5 trillion economy. When you look at India today, do you think we have what it takes to become a superpower?
Well, our Prime Minister is a spectacular man. He is thinking of the biggest things that you can think of for the nation. So if this third largest economy, second largest economy, all these things, if it's for inspiration, I'm fine with it. If it's to inspire the people, because people need inspiration,
Yes.
it's great. But I'm not really interested that India should become a superpower, because superpowers are usually the ugliest nations on the planet. Once they become superpower, big problem. My intention is India should become super. What is super means? We've been very super in the past. Why do you think hundreds of expeditions from Europe take, maritime expeditions taking off, whether you're Vasco da Gama or the Columbus who landed in the wrong land, everybody wanted to come to India.
Yeah.
One thing is it was wealth, another thing is wisdom and knowing. If anybody wanted guidance, this is the place.
Yes.
This has been our USP. This should once again become our USP, not just for internal things, for technology. We have nearly 1.5 billion people, and that means we have that many brains.
That's true.
Who can match that? If we have that many brains which work, this is important.
That's the key thing.
If it works, they're working, but they're working in a disparate way. So I think our Prime Minister is trying to inspire the population to make them work in one direction, because in India we have too many geniuses, not enough organization. This is why you take Indians and put somewhere where there is sufficient organization, suddenly
They excel.
they excel. They can't excel here because there's not enough organization, which is what we are trying to do. I'm not saying it is not happening. என்ன நீங்க மட்டும் கொடை உடைச்சு போட்டு உட்காந்துக்கிறீங்க.
This is going to be fun. Wow. Thank you.
It's a squall, it'll pass, but before it passes, it may leave you. We can continue to talk.
Yeah, let's continue.
Camera not working? Camera working?
Rolling?
Yeah. So, right now, we have a rich land which we are destroying at a pace that you can't imagine, because we are 1.5 billion people. If we forage in a disorganized way, then it'll be destroyed. We need organization at the level of agriculture, environment, industry, education, everything. But organization always tends to become a behemoth
That's right.
and become a kind of a monolith that it takes 10 years to make a turnaround.
Yes.
We don't have such time, we need to be agile. So how to balance between better sense of organization and at the same time sparking genius?
Yes.
This is important.
Yes.
We need to do that. Right now, the leadership is focused on this, but at the level of the population, beginning to happen. I can't say it's not happening, tremendous things are happening in this country, more things than people can imagine.
Yes.
It's a lot happening. But I would like to talk about things that are not happening. I always talk about problems, not because I'm negative, because what needs to be fixed needs the focus.
That's true.
What is doing well, fine, great. Lot of things are doing well. Many things which has amazed the whole world we are doing. All that is great. We hugely appreciate that. But at the same time, things that need to be fixed. As I said, we need a certain sense of organization. First thing is, all our people see today we're leaving these 5 medical vans. They must learn to drive which side of the road in India we must drive. Sometimes they're Indian, sometimes they're American, sometimes they're Indian, sometimes American. This is a massive problem.
Yes.
And why is it such a problem? What is the problem? Traffic? Is Sadhguru going to talk about traffic? It's not about traffic. It's about becoming a country which is law-abiding.
Yes.
This is most important. If you want our businesses to flourish, if you want international businesses to come and invest and function here, we must become a law-abiding nation on all levels. If that doesn't happen, people will hesitate. I keep, when I'm outside the country, I keep telling people, we are a different kind of organization. We are not like an arrow, we are like a swarm of bees. Every bee is going in a different direction, but on the whole, the swarm is going where it has to go.
Yes.
Well, glorifying our chaos is all right, we love it, because it gives color and buzz to everything, just like the bee swarm. But sometimes not sometimes, almost all the time, it just confounds people who come from outside.
Yes.
We shouldn't confound people. We must entice people. Little romance of confusion is okay, but beyond a certain point, it scares people.
Yes.
Most people, there are at least 60, 70 nationalities here. You ask them to drive on an Indian road, no. They're all been driving for many years in other countries, they'll say no. Because it just confounds them.
Yes.
Scares the hell out of them. That should go, because this is happening not because everybody is a bad driver, everybody is bad at following rules. This needs to happen on the street, in the business, in our civil society, everywhere, in the government, everywhere. Becoming a law-abiding society is very important. Becoming a law-abiding society, we don't have to become so prudish that all the time we will be in a straight line. We are little like this only. This is what makes us colorful and nice, but fundamentally, basic laws everybody must follow without being enforced. That is a thing that, well, Prime Minister trying to do it, Swachh Bharat, toilet, this one, that one, all this is about maintaining some sense of etiquette,
Yes.
some sense of rule-based organization within the nation. It's not a one-day's job, it's probably a couple of generations it will take to get us to that place. I'm glad that, these things which people think are little things, like building a toilet or keeping that, surroundings clean, these are small things our mother should have taught us.
Yes.
Prime Minister need not talk about it, but unfortunately he had to talk about it and start a movement, all this stuff. Keep yourself healthy, arey, you should know this in 21st century. He has to lie down on the street and do yoga. I'm saying ahead of state. But all that is being done, it's fantastic. But time the population wakes up, how to wake them up, there are many ways. Because India is essentially deep-rooted in spiritual process, whether they're conscious about it or not, it is there in everybody.
Yes.
Our samskara
Yes.
is spiritual process.
Yeah.
Using that also to build the nation is very important, that's what I'm trying to do, that the nation should grow, not just with external disciplines, with internal disciplines, which has been our strength in the sense, see the local area, this whole region has one police station, now it's better equipped. But when we came here, there are 8, 9 policemen there, 2, 3 will be on leave, one ASI. If nearly
And they would have to cover how many area?
about 250,000 people,
Yeah.
and at any time divided between night and day, there'll be 3 to 4 policemen. And they didn't have any vehicles, they had only bicycles at that time, now they have motorcycles. If you tell him murder has happened, he will say, do I really have to come? Can you come and whatever, because he's not equipped.
Yes.
But still, crime is almost nil.
Yes. Everything is managed.
This is spiritual process. Deeply spiritual people are… Here there is a center, look at the number of vehicles all over the place. There are BMWs, Mercedes, this one, that one is coming, but they're coming through villages where it's a one-room house with no furniture, just a few clothes kept nicely and a few utensils, within that very neatly kept. This is very important.
Yes.
It is there in individual people in India. It needs to manifest in an organized way, in the village. The moment they come out on the street, that discipline is gone. So this organization is very important. Indian genius is fantastic. Little organization we will burst forth.
Great. One important aspect of the nation is the youth of the nation. And you, as a spiritual master, are immensely popular among the youth. There's so many people, young people who join the
Because
programs.
I'm very young.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Sadhguru. So, what is your understanding of India's youth and how do you think we can help them build great lives for themselves and a great country?
See, let me extend the same thing rather than changing the narrative, because the youth also, this is the same problem. We are continuously talking about demographic, advantage or demographic dividend, as they say. I don't like to use the word dividend, I will say demographic advantage. That is, nearly 50% of the population is below 30 years of age. That means you have the necessary human beings to build a nation.
Yes.
But once again, do you have the necessary organization to build the nation? One important thing in this factor is we need to completely overhaul our education. Not, liberalize education, not modify education, we need to liberate education. When I say liberate education, most of our education, which is happening at this level in the villages, was largely conceived with the idea of literacy, not really education per se. So everybody get to 10th standard somehow and then maybe will go, but there is no other way, everybody has to go into the university. Not everybody has an academic mind.
That's true.
Even I don't have an academic mind. I can't go sit in a university and listen to some dull lecture, I just can't do that, okay?
You could never do that. We've told… you've told us your college days stories.
People are made differently. We have not recognized other skills other than education as important for nation building. This is a serious mistake. This is see, the British were not interested in building this nation. British were interested in milking this nation, both in terms of resource and human resource, they wanted to milk it. So they wanted to get all the bright minds to get to graduation, and then if they're right, they would pick them up, otherwise they'll throw them back and they don't know what to do with their lives because they can't farm, they can't do carpentry, they can't do blacksmithery, they can't do nothing because they were sitting in classrooms. Their body nor their mind is fit to do anything, so they didn't care anyway. They wanted more and more people who could sit and house their offices all around the world. If Indian people have forgotten this, in every place, whether it's Eden or it is Yemen or it is somewhere else in Africa, everywhere Indian clerks, they never graduated to become managers. They made sure, because they saw there's a bright spark in this guy, if you let him grow, he's
trouble for you.
he's trouble. So they kept them as clerks, just doing that, because they're generally honest, they're generally, very persevere to work, hardworking. So they were just using human resource as it is. This is why with corporate India, now I'm introducing this everywhere, don't call human beings as resource, Resource means you'll try to exploit.
Yes.
It's a human potential. Are you willing to nurture that potential? That's what is needed right now. See, right now, just for example, I'm kind of crushing this for the sake of time.
Yes.
See, right now, almost 96–97% of the boys and girls in Tamil Nadu are going to school. I think almost nearly 98% probably, at least in the beginning. Now, they go to school every day because it's a full day school. They're going to school. Generally, they are going probably 3, 4, 5 kilometers away, either cycling or by bus or something. Things are so much better, there are roads, there are facilities, everything. School is also reasonably more equipped. I think almost 80% of the schools have proper toilets and, all this has happened in the last few years,
Yes.
thanks to the government. State and central governments have worked on this. The important thing is, they're all going to school. But now, there is a rule. This is a compassionate rule, but a misplaced compassion. Now, till you come to 9th standard, there is no detaining of a student. Everybody's pass. Most people can't add 2 + 2, but they're pass. Because if you fail them or if you detain them, then the parents will say, you're no good, come and graze some goats out here. Be useful in the house at least. So now everybody goes to 14, 15 years with the attitude of the educated, but without education. The guy who's not interested in mathematics and chemistry, you must teach him agriculture, you must teach him carpentry, you must teach him some technology, something else, he may be really good at something else. There is no exploration. Everybody has to go through 6 subjects a day. Even when I went to school, I was just bewildered. My attention was like this. If I start paying attention to something, I can't shift my attention, I'm completely engrossed in it. So this teacher comes and speaks chemistry, I'm thinking chemistry in so many different ways. Suddenly somebody comes and says poetry. By the time I wake up to poetry, somebody's talking mathematics every 45 minutes, that is. I thought, this is stupid, they're not letting me
Dive deep.
into anything. We've changed that in our schools, but that is a minimum number of schools, that is not enough. But this needs to happen on a larger scale. At the age of 10, or let's say maximum 12 years of age, the standard education should stop and we must create infrastructure and facility. There is no chance of government creating high-end infrastructure. When I say high-end, I'm not talking about air conditioning, I'm talking about with variety of possibilities, government cannot do it. You must ask industry and business to build these possibilities. There is always fear, they will exploit, they will take them into their own companies, whatever. After all, they're looking for employment. Where they take is not a thing. You can make some laws for that, so that there is no exploitation in that area. But the important thing is, in Germany, in United States, 48% of the children choose technical and other skill-based education at the age of 12, 13. They don't go academic. In Germany, it's up 63–64%. In Korea, it is 96%. You know why that country has suddenly leapt forward like that? Because there are technicians on all levels, and after they become technicians, if they have the necessary, intellectual capacity, they will pursue higher studies in the same thing later on, after working for 8–10 years.
Once they become good technicians,
Yes.
they probably be graduating or…
They will become engineers in the same field or whatever, because they know the thing, now they just have to get the theory right.
Yeah.
So, this has to happen. We're just putting everybody through university. See, if you stop, I myself stopped at the age of whatever, when I finished my 12th standard, I said I'm going to educate myself, for which I I became like enemy of the people at home. I got branded like that, that I'm against everything in the world, just because I want to educate myself. I spent a whole day in the library
Reading. Reading books
Reading
after
all
books.
kinds of stuff. I think almost everything that I read happened in that 1 year.
Wow.
I read anything from popular mechanics to Homer, just about anything that I got, okay? I'm saying, I didn't know what… That is when I thought, If at all, if I must continue education, which was the pressure at home, Indian family, that too a physician father, must become a doctor, I would be in one of these vans probably.
If your father had his way.
He had his way. Nothing wrong, they're helping people.
Yeah.
But otherwise you must become an engineer or something like that. So I quit that, and because I had read so much of all the subjects, I thought the easiest thing, the lightest thing with which I could go through university was literature. Without going to the class, all I had to do is sit at home and read a book or sit in the garden and read a book, and I could go through the exams without struggle. So I chose literature for those 3 years that I was compelled to waste in my life.
Fantastic. Sadhguru, on multiple occasions you've spoken about mental health, and you've said that mental health pandemic is going to be the next big pandemic. How real is it?
Well, the stats are looking pretty bad all over the world. Mental health, why the mind breaks down? The input into this is not good, means the first thing that breaks down is software. Next thing that breaks down is hardware. Hardware problems will come. They're already there, but we're attributing it to so many reasons, but the water that we drink, the air that you breathe and the food that you eat is weakening this hardware also, but not so visible, because you think physically sick means you think it's normal. So, software is breaking down across the world. Many reasons. Soil is one important reason. People didn't understand this when I said save soil. This is most important. Every year, about 27,000 species of microorganisms are disappearing, okay? Extinct. 60% of your body is microorganisms. And if they disappear, you cannot exist here. You may not suddenly vanish, you'll slowly dissipate. This is happening at various levels. Soil is an important part because that is where maximum number of life is there. Soil as a system is most phenomenally alive system in the entire universe, not just on this planet. Not just on this planet, in the entire universe, it's the largest living system in the universe. But we are slowly poisoning that, destroying that in many different ways. That's one important thing. Of course, the air, the water is all consequence of that. But well, India is ahead of meeting those goals that the world has set up. But just one country doing it is not going to help, because environment is a global phenomena. I don't want to go into the politics of it, but the important thing is that's an important aspect, and socially, people were always depending upon… See, a human being needs a good emotional foundation to keep mental health. Today, human relationships have become such a flux. Family is no more a guarantee. When you uttered the word family, that means it's a permanent status.
Yes. It was your anchor.
It was your anchor, no matter what, this is my family means always there. But that's no more so. So people are emotionally in a volatile condition, and in turn mentally fragile and insecure. Emotional insecurity is translating into mental depressions, mental agitations, various kinds. So many crimes being committed because of such, emotional insecurities. It's happened rampantly in the Western society, so they are facing more of it, but it's beginning to happen here. Still, our phenomena is still limited to some major metropolis, the urban, hardcore urban centers. In the rural areas, the community and family is still strong, so they are still growing strong. We must build a nation with them, but we have not done enough to educate them, to skill them, to get them focused, to get them inspired. Uninspired, focused, competent, and wanting to create something kind of youth, if we have 1 billion people, there is no greater miracle. It will happen. But if you have an uninspired, unfocused, incompetent youth, that's the greatest disaster. In this, we also have, because it's a huge revenue earner, that is alcohol. At an early age, people have started drinking. This is why we started Gramotsavam, where to take youth off alcohol and other addictions and put them into sport. Many of them have given up because they want to be champions in the village. And the amount of alcohol consumption, it seems our per capita consumption is some 3.2 liters. But I never drank, I don't know who is drinking up my quota. Somebody is drinking it up.
Somebody is. You spoke about the word miracle, and that brings me to one thing that I wanted to ask you. Miracle of the Mind is an initiative that you've launched, and it's immensely popular among the young people of our country. You had so many spiritual tools and techniques. So what made you create this new initiative, and what was the thought behind it?
See, a spiritual process, if it is strongly transformational, as most of the tools that I give are like that, this is why if we want to deliver a 21-minute Shambhavi Mahamudra, we take a session which is over 30 hours of focus time. 30 hours of focus time, otherwise we won't teach, because it needs that much reorganization in your mental structure, in your emotional structure, before you go into something which is very transformational.
A lot of preparatory work is required.
Yes. And cultivation is needed. But not too many people are in that direction. I mean, there are millions of people today, billions are watching our content across the world. That is happening, but still, not everybody can commit that much time, or at least they don't think that their life is that significant, that they can commit 21 minutes per day for their well-being. Such a thing has not come. So for those of you who think 21 minutes of doing something which could transform your life, bring immense sense of well-being, your life is not that worthwhile. I'm saying 7 minutes, no preparation needed. Wherever you are, you can do it. However you are, you can do it. If you want to do Shambhavi Mahamudra or Shakti Chalana Kriya, your stomach should be empty, there are conditions. Nothing. In any condition you can do it, but it will bring at least mental well-being to you. And it can do more than that if you involve yourself well in that. So just 7 minutes, no conditions, in any condition you can do it. This is to make sure it reaches everybody. The idea is, as I said earlier, we want this. These tools for inner well-being should not be in the hands of a guru or in an organization or administrations. This must be in the hands of the people. As I said earlier, our mothers should teach us how to meditate at an early age, like how they taught us how to brush our teeth. Without that, we would be terrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
So same thing, if you are mentally going into these kind of things, because that aspect is missing, we want to see this happens in the coming generation, that every home has a simple tool for their own well-being.
Great. Sadhguru, 3 inner qualities that if every young Indian unlocks within himself, he will become unstoppable, Bharat will become unstoppable.
3
inner qualities. If one…
Inequality.
Inner qualities.
Inner
qualities.
Inner qualities, I'm sorry. See, whatever you wish to do, most important thing is you have an absolute sense of attention towards that. If you have enough attention, it will bring clarity. Right now, whole lot of so-called self-help book writers and teachers and even spiritual teachers, unfortunately, spiritual teachers also joined this gang, have confidence. Confidence is a non-existent bridge. If there is a chasm that you have to cross, You need clarity. If you have confidence, for sure you're going down. If there is no clarity, I advise hesitation. You can't see well, you must hesitate, you must seek somebody's help. You are confident without clarity, you are a disaster. You will be disaster unto yourself, unto the nation, unfortunately. So, this is very important. First thing is attention. What is it that matters to you? Absolute attention. Attention will bring clarity. Clarity will bring precise action. This is needed. But people won't just develop this just like that. They need to be trained large scale. I feel everybody who does not go into academic life, like a university, such people should go into at least 1 year would be great if that is too much for infrastructure and other logistical issues. At least 6 months, they must go into a place where it's like a paramilitary place, where physically they will become strong and fit, they will have some sense of discipline and focus, whatever their area of interest, whether they want to become an electrician, an electronics person, or they want to be… everybody wants to be AI, everybody wants to be a podcaster. Whatever the hell you want to be.
Absolutely.
All right?
Yeah.
Whatever you want to be, 6 months to 1 year of full-on training, and then those who are competent, who just don't want to do simple things to earn a living, they can go into further education in the same fields.
Sadhguru, when you look at today's leadership, we've seen that there's been a remarkable change in the last 11 years, the way this country has been run. What is your view about this leadership, this current government and its vision for Bharat?
See, Viksit Bharat is one thing that I bow down to. I've always been saying, we are calling ourselves a developing nation. How many more decades or centuries are we going to go on developing? We have to become developed somewhere. I'm glad a date has been fixed.
A deadline is set now.
Yes, we must become a developed nation by then. Whatever the parameters for what we call as developed, something.
Yes.
It is needed. Without a target, nobody is going in any direction.
Absolutely.
So that way it's fantastic. In the last 11 years, many wonderful things have been done which are structural,
Yes.
which in an election campaign, people may not be able to see it, unfortunately, but they're very structural.
And they'll have a strategic…
Yes, that is what is
impact.
building a… See, if you build a foundation, a very strong foundation, nobody appreciates it. They say, what to do on this foundation?
Because they can't see the building.
Yes, you can't see the building. Can I live in the foundation? No. So the foundation stones are being laid which are very strong. I'm not saying there was no foundation for this country before these 11 years, there was. But we went in for a socialist kind of thing. I call that gutless socialism because we didn't have the courage to become communist. We called ourselves socialist and we don't know whether we're this or that. We're confused. Even now some people want the country to take one step forward to market economy, another step backwards to socialist ways. No, once you choose a path, you must go full on. If you hesitate, you will not go anywhere.
Absolutely.
It's as simple as that. So we have chosen market economy, we must go with courage. Oh, but this fellow was… this man was didn't get justice. See, nowhere in the world there is absolute justice to everybody. I'm not saying to… see, all this will be misinterpreted on social media, but I'm saying this because it deeply pains my heart, because people are picking up like this, oh, he did not get justice. Nowhere in the world, ever, in the history of humanity, every human being got justice. Well, there are geopolitical challenges. I think we have handled it very deftly, for which they will make us pay a price. Of course, there will be a price, but challenges like this should strengthen us. If we are made of some substance, challenges like this that are coming to us all around, it should strengthen us and we must act resolutely, which is what I'm seeing. Fortunately, the government is not backing out of challenges, going head on. There will be some pain, or maybe more than some pain will be there, for sure. But it doesn't matter, we must use this to build a strong nation. Unfortunately, though we are always espousing Vasudhaivaka Kutumbakam, world is not yet there. You can't sell an idea for which the world is not yet ready. We can still hold it as an ideal, but the practical situation is the world is not yet there. Everybody says their nation first, for right now we must say Bharat first.
Absolutely.
Right now it's important. Or we must at least say Asia first.
Yeah.
It's a large part of humanity, more than 50% of the world's population. I think Bharat first, then Asia first will be a good way to go, because geographically connected, congruent nations must work together. And we have the human potential. Technology-wise, we may be little behind, but when human beings are willing, it can be done. Well, and most of the technology, wherever it is, Asian people are seriously involved in that, and it's possible to build that. We have to ensure there is peace. We have to ensure that our education, industry, everything buzzes with new energy. That needs to happen.
Are you happy with the way the government has handled these crises of late that have happened? The COVID crisis was one, now the current tariff crisis.
See, COVID crisis was handled spectacularly well. The current crisis, it's still not over, so we don't know how it'll be handled. But the first part of it, I think we have handled it very deftly, very skillfully, I would say. But people may not like your skill. See, when you act very skillfully, they realize how much of a danger you are. Okay? When they see your competence, if I see your competence, I will realize how much of a problem you can be for me.
It's like a red flag.
Yes. So that's how the world is working right now. But these kind of crises will not last forever. We must endure the pain for some time. There will be a way out.
Fantastic. You spoke about certain fundamental changes that the government did in the last 10 to 11 years. Which are the 3 or 4 ones that you would like to point out and say that these are really good ones?
Well, for me, Jan Dhan, bank accounts for everybody, that's a game changer.
How has that impacted? Have you seen that impact, Sadhguru?
See, this is the whole thing. This is the whole thing. You want a bang, bang things will be over. This is like a tree growing. There's no bang, bang, bang. Just one leaf at a time it came up, now there's a huge tree full of fruit. This is that kind of thing. It's slowly growing, everybody has a bank account. I was sharing this somewhere recently. This was many years ago, maybe 20 years ago. I was in one of the local towns in Tamil Nadu, and I was speaking, and along with me there was a minister, local state minister at that time. And some stats were there, and I said, unfortunately in this country, for every 100 rupees, only 10 rupees reaches the actual beneficiary. He's touching me from behind and saying, "No, Sadhguru, it's only 4 rupees." I said,
Thank you for correcting me.
You must be in the know. It's only 4 rupees. So, people don't understand what a silent difference it's made.
Yes.
That everybody has a bank account and it comes straight into their bank account, there's no in-between filters to filter your money. That's one important thing. And I think geopolitically, strategically, we've done phenomenal things. Unfortunately, we have not educated our people to make them feel proud, all this is happening. And it is something that I would not usually talk about, but considering the kind of neighborhood that we are living in, having a strong military has become an important part. And for everything, even for cartridges, we were depending on some other country.
Yes.
Fortunately, now it's all being made here, if not entirely. Largely, we are heading in that direction.
And there is a lot of push for private players to get into now defense
That's the only way. That's the only way. All American weaponry is made by private players, not by the government.
Yes.
And you allow them to sell it too. Am I trying to instruments of war, do I want it to go everywhere? That's why I said, our ideals are one thing, our realities are different things. We work towards our ideal, but we work with our reality. This wisdom if we don't have, we will pay
Absolutely.
a serious price.
You know, I was very curious about this initiative, Sadhguru, that you've started, which is Gen A's entrepreneurship program. Tell us a bit about that and what made you start this initiative.
See, this is a 26-weekend boot camp.
Aha.
Our intention was to get 17 to 21, 22 years of age, but it generated so much interest. A lot of them of that age group and many others who are not in that age group, who feel young enough.
Like me.
No, let me tell you, they feel young enough because still they may be 35, still they didn't get to do what they think they can do.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. You're also in that category.
Yeah, absolutely.
Me also. There are many things I can do,
Yeah.
but they won't allow me to do. So, there are a lot of them who come into it. It's 26 alternate weekends. Initially we thought we will enroll only people from Bangalore city because the program is largely run in our Bangalore center. But people have enrolled from faraway places and they're willing to come every alternate weekend. It's already into its third weekend or third or second weekend is over, 2 weekends are over, it's running full of enthusiasm. And the idea is to nurture and curate entrepreneurship.
Sadhguru, we've seen a lot of spiritual revival in our country. The consecration of the Ram Mandir, the Mahakal corridor, Kashi Vishwanath, and Mahakumbh. How do you see these developments shaping our national consciousness? And Isha has also played a remarkable role. Adiyogi is a living example. The Mahashivratri festivals is something that the entire country looks up to now.
Not just a country, in the world.
Absolutely.
Our online and television viewership is about 142 million people
That's
that
true.
night. It's the largest event.
Yes.
You know, except the World Cup football finals, there is no other event which gets that much.
Wow.
Not even the Super Bowl, not Grammy Awards, nothing.
That's phenomenal.
Why I'm saying this is, there is that much hunger. See, here at least there is a yoga center, there is temple, there's so many things here for people to come. Look at the people coming, just keep coming all the time. In Bangalore city, we have nothing, just we have Adiyogi and one Naga, rest is construction site. Daily our footfall is 25 to 30,000. Weekends it's 40 to 50,000. Festivals is 1.5 to 2 lakhs. On Makar Sankranti day, we have a traffic jam running to 14 kilometers into the national highway.
Wow.
I'm not trying to brag. What I'm saying is, that is the level of thirst that is there in the human beings. If you offer something that makes sense to them, which is transformational, they want to go there. And to add to that, in 2024, our video views are 5.23 billion, B.
Wow.
And unique views are 1.72 billion. So, 1.72 billion people are watching this. Why?
Because there's a thirst.
There is a thirst. Because old systems of saying, look up, pray to God, everything will be okay, has collapsed in this generation. And don't worry, if you do this, you will go to heaven. The young people don't want to go to heaven.
They want to have fun.
They want to know if there is free Wi-Fi out there. See, they know what they want. They want to know if it's 10G, they're willing to go today. If it's 5G, they will be here only.
They know their moksha.
Yes. So I'm saying the old offerings that you will get this and that, whatever in the heaven, they're not interested in those things. So they want solutions here for their lives. So that only Sanatan can offer.
Yes.
I'm not trying to be prejudiced. All I'm saying is, this is not a heaven-bound civilization. This is a civilization which wants to thrive here. This has been lost in too much, invasions, occupations, everything, we've lost a bit of it. But we've not lost it totally.
Yes.
The moment you offer it, in Bangalore city, in the whole city, there's not a single temple, a shopping mall or a theatre complex which has 25,000 footfall per day. Adiyogi has 25 to 30,000 footfall per day. This shows what they really want.
Absolutely. And you're giving them cheap alternatives.
It's not an alternative, don't say it's an alternative.
No, I'm saying the malls.
No, I'm saying it's not an
Oh,
alternative.
it's not an alternative. And to add to your point, Sadhguru, you spoke about structuring things and organizing things, and we already see that kind of an impact. The Mahakal corridor, it's a very organized…
Well, you mentioned those three things. See, though the Kashi…
Vishwanath.
I know Vishwanath. I'm trying to hide my pain.
Okay.
Though the Kashi corridor is such a terrible compromise compared to what it should be. When Gnanvapi is still sitting there, where people doing whatever they're doing to the linga there, it's painful thing, but still it's one of the phenomenal things that I even expressed this to the Prime Minister, you're doing many things for the nation. This one thing will be remembered, after 1,000 years, this is the only thing people will remember. That you opened up what was like a gutter, you made it into good, dignified entry for Kashi, and Kashi as a town has developed in a way that you can't imagine.
Absolutely.
When I first time went to Kashi, I don't remember how many years ago, which was not very long, maybe 15, maybe 20 years ago.
That's it, Sadhguru?
Yes, before that I would never go. I'm not a pilgrim place goer. If I close my eyes, I'm in a pilgrimage, so I don't go anywhere. So when I went, all the journalists were excited and they came to interview me and said, after, you've never come to Kashi, first time you're coming, what's your impression? I said, it's fabulous and filthy. If you remove the filth, it'll be fabulous. We are moving in the direction in Kashi, filth is being removed substantially and it's becoming fabulous.
Yeah. Fantastic.
And of course, other things also important. Ram temple is a significant, important thing because for a whole segment of Indian population, Rama is a very important deity. And above all, he is an epitome of a man keeping his own personal well-being aside in the interest of his nation's well-being.
Absolutely.
He is India first guy, okay? His nation is first, his own personal well-being, his family's well-being, nothing matters, people first. And fortunately, we have that kind of leadership now.
Amazing. One yogic practice, Sadhguru, that you would recommend to the Honorable Prime Minister to add to his daily routine?
There's something called as Upayoga and Sadilaja. I see that he needs Sadilaja and Upayoga, which is very simple when he's walking in the garden, which he does every day. He can simply do it taking 12–15 minutes. As a part of his walk, he can do this.
As a part of the walk?
Yes.
Okay.
Some part of it can be done even when you're walking. Some part of it you stand and do, some part of it you squat and do. These things would do wonders because the amount of travel, pressure that he takes.
Yes.
Keeping his spine in a very strong but fluid condition is the most important thing. If he wants to maintain his vigor, his mental alertness, which is in many ways extraordinary. Well, I've spoken to various world leaders around the world. The breadth of mind that he exhibits is phenomenal. Anything that you speak doesn't go beyond him, he understands any kind of thing that you speak. And above all, he's a great listener, he has the attention, which is a huge thing, and that attention should not weaken. His attention to small details, to small people who are standing here and there, which should not go, because The job that he has is a ruthless job. His humanity is only because of his attention. And he has exhibited this all the time, he won't miss a chance to exhibit that. So, Sadilaja and Upayoga, which are very simple practices, would be fantastic. And there are other things that he can do which may take little more time. In his present condition, it may be difficult for him. But even if he keeps it once a week, because he has no weekend, so I can't say this he is a slave like me no weekend So, but if he has one day where there's an hour or two for himself, then we can suggest something else which could… We can bring down his age
That would be interesting.
by a few years, because as a man, he's become that important for the nation.
Great. Sadhguru, this conversation was absolutely mind-blowing, so insightful. Thank you so much for your time, thank you for the wisdom.
Thank you, a lot of trouble for me, good for you.
Thank you,
Because
Sadhguru.
podcaster can always distance himself from all the opinions that are expressed by others